This is the Sunseeker S4. No satellite, no RTK. It uses Lidar to mow your lawn. Super easy, quick setup. It will go back and get missed spots. Let's jump in. So emergency stop button right off the top. You got your Lidar on top here. You have some cameras. You have some things that you're going to need to remove straight from here. Just some sensor stuff like that. Wheels, got about 1/4 of an inch of grip right here on these nice little rubber wheels. And then your front wheels are almost full circles. So let me just flip this over so you can see. So 6 blades here. You've got your protection bars here, battery pack here. And again, you've got these swivel wheels that will go all the way around. Pretty thick. They're about 3 inches thick. You've got some springs on this whole front loaded portion here, so this can go up and down. And again, this is not using RTK. I'm really excited to see what that looks like. This is a emergency stop on the button. Let me just get up here and show you. Emergency button on this top right here. This has an actual cover on it that we can pull off. We'll leave that on for a few minutes. And then last but not least is your actual charging station. There's your connector ports right here. So you have your plus and minus right in here. Things right off the bat. Set up literally less than 2 minutes. Plug in your cord, which I'll show you, and you're good to go. We're charging. So one of the things that's interesting about the Sunseeker S4 is that instead of backing into charge, it actually goes forward into charge. So I've reviewed about 6 or 7 of these, and you'll notice that we've got the front end over here, so the Lidar's here. So it's going to back up and then go out and mow. So this is not going to be the final spot. This is just really close to a plug that's on the lawn, just so everybody's aware. I usually like to have these inside where it can go quick and easy if I open the garage or in a place that's behind a gate. They do have anti-theft and codes and different things like that. Now, I'm also not going to anchor down. You've got 6 of these that you can actually just anchor this down in the grass. Long term, if I'm going to put it in the grass, which I don't really love to do, I will actually just cut out that piece of grass so it doesn't get that weird kind of dead grass and everything grows around it, have the edge around it. You've got a really long extension cord. So right here, this is all wrapped up. It's going to be almost 25 feet. The other thing that I've absolutely loved is on your connectors, you basically have this locking mechanism for water, air, stuff like that. And so once you plug it in, super easy, you just tighten this all the way across. And again, just to show you, so here's our power right here next to an older sprinkler system that doesn't work anymore that we need to just take out. But here it is right off the ground. The other thing I noticed really quickly is that it's light enough that you can actually carry it with one hand. And the handle, which is right under here, is strong enough that you can just hold it like you're carrying a suitcase or something like that. So we're actually charging right now. I'm downloading the app. I'll show you images and pictures, and then we'll get you some actually mowing footage, what that looks like. I'm really interested to see if this works. I'm really interested to see this without a satellite. The satellite to me is the most annoying thing with AI lawnmowers, is because you have cloud cover, you have updates, you have all those things. We're probably gonna have to do an update here, but we'll talk about that. Our charging button right here on the S. I'm actually just gonna pull off some of these extra protective sheets that are all over the place. Sensors, different things like that. Here's all of our manual buttons right here. You can see we have a power button, start, home, okay. We have our length of grass that we can adjust manually right here. You can also do this in the app. I'm going to show you all of that. That's an LCD screen, so you can see that it's charging. Right now we're at a full charge. So again, this is in auto mapping mode. And what we're doing is we're actually using the Lidar right here. One of the things I did not show you is it does come with a soft cover. So when I pulled it out of the box, I showed you that where the Lidar was, but I never showed you taking this off. So it's actually just going to map everywhere. You can see here going across the cement. This is the little strip that I usually manual mow because it's so small. that the AI lawnmowers don't love going back and forth this quickly. The Sunseeker looks like it's taking it all in and it might jump over. So if we go this way, you can see the lines. It's avoiding some of our weed piles. Again, we'll come back, we'll get you more footage. So we have this slope right up here to the island. We have cement over here. And again, we're in a little bit of a drought, so we're on a water restriction. So the grass is not normally this dry, but they just turned on our secondary water. So you'll be able to see that it gets right up to kind of that line where we have the edge. And then once it's done with the regular mowing, what it'll do is it'll actually just come back and go around the edge. Again, no RTK, no satellite. It is just using the Lidar right here, 3D imaging. So we're about halfway done, and it's going to go back to the base right here and charge. Super easy. It'll just actually just get back in. One of the things I do need to do is I actually need to move this base. It's too close to another sprinkler head and the cement rail right here. So you also have auto mapping, no zones, safety zones, danger zones that you can add to your map. The other thing that's great about the Sunseeker is it's going back to this area that we already missed because we were doing some weeds and had piles of weeds. You can see that there's a bucket right here. So it's on track. You can see here's the nice pretty lines going back and forth. We have a little bit of a hill, kind of a danger zone right here. Go up to 22% incline or decline. We'll also recognize sidewalks, go over into different areas here. Now we're actually going to get back on track and just start going back and forth like we were earlier. Install and setup of the Sunseeker S4 is literally 10 minutes. It took me longer to unbox than it took me to get unplugged. One of the things that you'll note when I went through earlier is you will want to do an update of the firmware software and make sure that everything is good. That's over-air update. You don't have to do anything manually. It took maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds to do that. It's handling our front lawn, which is almost a quarter of an acre. We do have a little bit of patches in the back, but we're going to stay mostly in the front. So here's a little bit more of slope going up to the top, hitting that curb, turning back around, coming back. Over the past 6 weeks, I've reviewed 4A lawnmowers. Some of the things I love about this one more than the others. Number one, it does not have a satellite, does not have an RTK. You don't have to set that up. Once you get the mapping clear, it will just run on its own. Absolutely fantastic. I love the turn radius of this. When I was doing manual mapping, I could actually drive it like a remote control car instead of like having it wiggle back and forth like this. So the edges are really clean, really tight. Right up here on top, next to your emergency stop, you have manual buttons. You have auto height adjustment. Obviously there's a sensor because I just opened it up. You can change the height. This is where you enter your PIN code, so it is theft proof. So in order to get it running, you have to have a code. It will connect to 2.4 gigahertz, 5 megahertz as well. And then it has a deck that will lower. You can see this has springs on it right here when I showed you in the unboxing or after. I've reviewed 4 or 5 AI lawnmowers this year, and I want to tell you about some of my favorite things about the Sunseeker S4. Number one, it doesn't have an RTK satellite, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about clouds. I don't have to worry about the house or anything like that. I can just get it set up with super easy, like 10 minutes. Second, the turning radius is a lot tighter than a lot of the other AI lawnmowers that I've used. When I was in manual mode doing manual mapping, it was super easy to use like an actual remote control car instead of like herky jerky, and so you get that weird edges that you have to go back and edge anyway. It does have a manual board on it, so you can change settings, change your remote height like this. You have your start, home, OK, power buttons are all in there. You also have a remote control where you can control it manually and mow, but then you also have auto edging as well and